Welcome back to Grade 7 Math. This is lesson number 3.1, Add Fractions Using Manipulatives. In case you're wondering what manipulatives are, what you see in the picture here are manipulatives. Today we are beginning a new unit, fractions, decimals, and percents. This unit will be divided into two halves. The first half of our unit will be all about fractions. We will learn or review how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. We will also learn how to solve a variety of word problems involving fractions. In today's lesson, we are going to learn how to add fractions using manipulatives. We are going to use pattern blocks to show and solve fraction addition problems. There are four pattern blocks we are going to use. The hexagon represents one whole. Can you tell what fraction of the hexagon the other pattern blocks represent? So what I want you to do is put this video on pause, and you're going to determine what fraction of the hexagon each shape represents. And one hint I'll give you, there are 6 triangles or 6 pieces which make up one whole hexagon. Okay, put the video on pause right now. All right, let's see how you did. So this green triangle represents 1/6 because it's one triangle out of 6 in total on the hexagon. In terms of this rhombus, we notice that it's actually 2 triangles put together. So that makes us think that one blue rhombus equals 2/6, or 1/3. And then here we have a trapezoid, which is 3 triangles put together. And that looks like 3/6, or you might say that this red trapezoid represents 1/2. Now we'll just move this box out of the way. So there you go. You might want to put this video on pause just to study these shapes right now, because we are going to be using these a fair amount over the next few days. Using these pattern blocks can help us see equivalent fractions. Try putting the video on pause so that you can come up with a pair of equivalent fractions. Two fractions which look different but actually represent the same amount. Okay, let's see what you got. All right, on this side we could say, well, this is 1/3 of the hexagon which we're covering. Or we could say it's really 2 green triangles covering a total of 6 in the hexagon. So 1/3 and 2/6 are equivalent fractions. I want you to put the video on pause so that you can use the pattern blocks below to show that 3/6 equals 1/2. And we'll take this up in our next class. All right, moving forward. Let's use the pattern blocks to write some addition sentences. And we'll make sure to state the final answer. So I'll just get my pen set up. So here, I'll remember that the red trapezoid represents 1/2 of the hexagon. And then I'm going to, of course, add. And this blue rhombus represents 1/3. Now, later on in this unit, we're going to look at how to add fractions that have different denominators. But here, for this first lesson, what I can do is I can say, you know what, let's count how many triangles have been shaded in. So here we've got 3 triangles plus another 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So I can say that 1/2 plus 1/3 equals 5/6. Okay, here's the type of question you might encounter in your book. Write an addition sentence to represent the total fraction of each hexagon that's covered. State the total fraction covered. Okay, so first, let's look at the blue rhombus. And again, that means 1/3. Then I notice I've got that one green triangle. Remember back that earlier slide. One green triangle represents 1/6 of the hexagon. And then I can just add. I've got 2 blue triangles plus 1 green triangle. That will equal 3 out of 6. You might say, well, wait a sec, I can reduce that. 3/6 is really the same as saying 1/2. And that makes sense if we look at the diagram, because between the blue and the green, we've actually covered 1/2 of the hexagon. Okay, one more example. Write an addition sentence to describe how many fractions are covered. So I want you to put the video on pause, work out this problem, and then when you hit play again, I'll reveal the solution. Okay, here I've actually covered an entire hexagon in red, so that's just one hole. If I look here, I've covered 2/3 of the second hexagon because 2 blue rhombi add up to 2/3. So of course 1 plus 2/3 is simply 1 and 2/3. So there we go. All right. So I'll leave some pattern blocks in the classroom for you guys to work with as you're doing your in-class work in our next class. If you found any of this video confusing, it means that you need to go back and watch a video at least a couple of more times. And then we'll tackle these problems which I've listed here in class. But until we meet again, this concludes today's video.